Well, thanks for being here. I know Vitalik is talking now. It's really an honor to have a few of you here and not in the matcha line over there. We're going to have a conversation today about, we're going to start talking about guerrilla L2s, and I think we're going to go there, but I present to you Melanie Premsyl, French philosopher, anarchist, who does the honor of joining us here. Do you want to give a little intro about yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone. So I'm a French philosopher. I'm studying anarchy and technology. And at the beginning, I was more like in the side of, territory, like in the center of the France. For example, I don't know if you know Tarnac or all that kind of group who are like more violent group. And the main problem I encountered was like we need to be linked with other people in the world. And a lot of anarchist groups are like very limited in the way we can communicate with more people from America, of South America. And it's why now we are trying like to create a bridge like with the crypto and everyone who are trying like to find new way to fight against the lack of privacy, the lack of liberty, and the violence of the states.
Amazing. So basically, we met a couple of weeks ago in New York. We both were attending a trial that was happening in Manhattan, where these two brothers, known as the MEV brothers, were being prosecuted because they sandwiched some sandwich bots. So I went to the court to watch the trial, and I saw this person here reading Spinoza in French. And I was really curious about what was happening. Like, there was no one in the audience but us two. So I got really curious about what got you as first and foremost an anarchist and philosopher rather than a technologist to basically come to attend this specific trial, but also to basically think about Ethereum's governance and the whole validation system and the trial that was happening in New York.
I think I was just searching to understand if there is a way that the United States is trying to control Ethereum, because in Europe we are very out of the game with the crypto in the way we don't have a legislation, and I was just shaking.
So, do you think that the United States is trying to control Ethereum?
I think it's a big question. I think the United States is trying to control everyone, so it's like.
Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. So for those who haven't followed the trial, after 3 weeks or 4 weeks, it was a mistrial. So the jury couldn't come to an unanimous verdict and decide whether or not these two brothers were guilty of violating the rules of the blockchain or not, which is kind of a positive outcome, I think, for crypto, that a court or a jury doesn't decide what is right and what is wrong on chain. But okay, if we just take a step back about what you said of anarchists looking into this technology in order to basically bridge between different groups.
Yeah, so I think I'm here only for one purpose, is saying, I'm not a tech girl, or I'm not part of the crypto game, but what I was watching, with another point of view, is blockchain has really disruptive power, but is not able to reach other community more territorialized. And I think it's one of the purpose is to create a colorful blockchain. It's why we want to speak about L2, how to create new communities with other background, with other imagination and imaginary.
I mean, it's really amazing for me to have you here at DevConnect, to be honest, because you bring this kind of fresh perspective on this community and what we're doing in our events. And yesterday we spent a lot of time hopping from events to events, and I got your feedback, something that I'm not equipped anymore to see, because we've been dealing with this basically theater for many years. We're all friends, so we're like all very kind to each other. But this like critical perspective is amazing. I think we can benefit from this, especially because I mean I got really excited too that I see that anarchists or maybe more leftist people are actually still interested in our technology, although like despite whatever like, you know, crypto Twitter, there are fights. Maybe it's better you're not aware of this whole like side of the community, but like fights about like what is being, you know, like about Ethereum being communist technology. Like, does that sound like true to you? Do you think it's okay to say that Ethereum is a communist technology?
Yeah, I would like to say that. I would like to say that, but I'm not sure because you know that there's a lot of like people need to do money, so that's the main purpose of Ethereum too. But I think we could just use like an Ethereum communism, like create it, like just one of part could be that kind of dream. I think it's a dream cake that can be like done, but we need to have. For me, I don't know the community, but we need to create tools and design that help people out of the technical, like very engineering kind of thinking to understand what it's like.
That reminds me a lot about like DAOs a few years ago. I don't know about you all, but like I was really excited. I was thinking that DAOs are like revolutionizing the way we organize as groups and communities on chain and like the freedom we have. And in the end, like all of these just like fell flat. Like I don't think it manifested at all. It just became like more about like the voting system is not really like democratic. It's all about like making profit. This whole kind of idea we had of DAOs as a social tool didn't really manifest. But I think like we talked a lot recently about these tools that blockchain gives us and the fact that how we can imagine blockchain evolving in like 5-10 years. And a lot of talks are happening about Ethereum becoming private, and I think this is definitely like the basically the road ahead is the L1 to be a privacy-centric L1. And also there is the roll-up-centric roadmap. So how L2's roll-ups will become kind of the main users of Ethereum rather than end users. And end users will then move to, instead of being part of DAOs on the L1, being part of various like roll-ups or L2s. So how can we basically project our imagination into this kind of future of Ethereum in order to build what you said, this like sub-communist, anarchist space of freedom?
So I'm French, so this is a big problem. Like being French, we are like a very state nation. So I'm always thinking about pedagogical and like very like up and bottom way. And I'm not saying like I think like the L2 like creates a way that everyone can create is like mini blockchain, and they are secure by the layer 1. So I would like just like maybe to, if people can create a pedagogical and like help to everyone like for something like is friendly. I think like a lot of group like association, but maybe just free and could create like their own blockchain. And it will be a way like, you know, the federalism, the big main subject of anarchism is federalism, how people can manage to hate each other maybe, but speak with each other. So we need to have this kind of federalism in the blockchain, like everyone is as a layer 2 with its own value, and so we speak with the same infrastructure.
Yeah, I really like what you said about basically hating each other but still communicating, like not being toxic, you know? despite like our differences. And the fact that there's like one L1 in this scenario, which would be Ethereum, is also like oftentimes said as fascist, because we all need to agree with this like one set of rules. So like it's like this one kind of system that is equal for everyone, and that like you have to basically kind of like submit to this L1. Like there is no, or you can like basically move away. That's a whole other question. But if we can like decentralize this into like various kind of tiny roll-up L2 ecosystem, then we can bring back dissonance and disagreement kind of within this like common infrastructure.
Yeah, sure. I think you are great. Like, I think there is like a big responsibility for tech people who have a true way of thinking. You are the only one nowadays are like trying to do something, and something good with problematic. And so you can't just be in your own like imaginary, and as you say, maybe the problem of fascism, like we are only one. You have like a big responsibility, and it's not only you're using signal or just privacy. It's like we are creating the new technological world, and we have to choose between if there will be like only tech people and like the other of if the tech people will be like linked with everyone that want more freedom. And
so we met 5 minutes. We mentioned a lot communism and anarchism, and these are like almost like curse words in crypto. I feel like, you know, it's so tainted, and like you get instant criticism, you know, if you like basically mention this concept. And I don't know, like maybe I'm wrong, but when I joined crypto, there were more like hackers, anarchists, like the aesthetic was more present, the vibe was more, it was cool to be like this. So a lot of people identified with that. Nowadays, I feel like there are a lot still around, but maybe like more closeted. Like, is there any closeted anarchists in the room? I don't know. I think there are. So I would say let's maybe take a step back, if you can define actually what is communism or anarchism.
yeah, no, I think anarchism is not well known. In the way, it's like very simple. It's just when we arrive to have an auto-organization. So when, like, as there is pocket of freedom, there is pocket of anarchy. Like in the way, like people are just speaking together with friends, with association, in the work too, and they don't need like someone to be the chief, like the head, to understand and to decide, because in the end, the human problem is that people want to have like a chief, and like anarchism is we are just trying to fight against that profound desire to be like controlled by the other and shape as we like. Do we want really to be free? That's the question, and how can we manage to do it together?
Something you said yesterday too was very relevant, I think, is that everyone lives anarchy in their life. So like some people are like, oh, anarchy, like we're so far from it, you're just like reactionary, anti-establishment, anti-state. But actually everyone, whether it's in their family, in their friendship, in some form of relationship, are navigating a realm of kind of lawlessness, of like anarchy, where rules are created through the interpersonal dynamic. So everyone has some level of anarchy in their life. And I think like starting from there, maybe it becomes like more tangible also to talk about it.
Yeah, it's why I think like blockchain is truly anarchist. Like, in that way of thinking.
Okay, amazing. I think this is a perfect sentence maybe to end on. Blockchain is anarchist. And also to wrap it up on this, I think what is really important, or what I would really love to see in blockchain, would be more tooling, because it's hard for me to imagine like anarchist groups or more autonomous groups, sovereign groups, to come and just be like users of a product. Like there are not necessarily like a market fit in that sense. Like it's very unlikely that they would just adopt a whole like made product rather than like if you give them the raw material to build their own. So it's more like DIY, build your own tooling, your own L2, roll up, whatever you want to call it. I think that would make even like crypto even more aligned with us. Voilà, merci beaucoup.
Merci.